How you doing, YouTube? Back at you. Sorry it's taking so long for me to upload any videos, but I've been kind of busy. You know, doing things, around the house, catching up with the honey-do list and all of that kind of stuff. Y'all know how it is. But anyway, I just thought I'd make a quick video of what was on my mind. Okay, here it goes. So I've been practicing this, so let me see. Tell me how it goes. All right. So it's not poetry. It's just something that was on my mind. All right. I, personally, am a direct descendant of a slave. That's right. Direct. 3 generations removed. Only 3. Okay? So, my mindset is a bit different than some other people's mindset. I want for myself and my family as much freedom as possible. You hear me? As much. If it were up to me, there would be nothing that I couldn't do that did not harm someone else or cause harm to someone else. Why? Because I am a direct descendant of a slave. People who had absolutely no freedom at all, who were cattle. Now, why do I bring this up? Because it seems like a lot of my people, have lost that knowledge of what it was like. Even in my short lifetime, which, as you can tell by the gray, ain't that short. But even in my short lifetime, I remember lynchings. Okay? I remember Jim Crow stuff. And when I was a kid, coming up through school was at the beginning of the forced busing and all of that kind of stuff. So I remember the fights, the being spit on, the jeers, the cussing at, the being chased out of neighborhoods just for walking through, being on the wrong side of town. And so I remember that kind of stuff. All right. A lot of people coming up after me don't. Why? Because honestly, people like me don't talk about it as much as we should. We don't let our children know what it was like. We don't let our grandchildren know what it was like enough. We want to forget about it because it was something terrible that happened to us. Just like our parents and our grandparents didn't tell us about slavery days. Well, most of us anyway. Most of our parents and grandparents didn't tell us about what it was like in slavery days. Or what it was like in my grandparents' experience, what it was like coming up through the Great Depression. You know, they would tell us some stuff, but a lot of other things a lot of the stuff we had to kind of figure out on our own. And, you know, get it from other people, or if we were lucky enough, read about it in a book or something. Because it's almost like being in a war. Okay? When people come back from a war, they don't like to talk about the things that happened to them during that war. Slavery is the same thing. Okay? Jim Crow, same thing. They don't like to talk about that kind of stuff. They're trying to forget about it. I don't blame them. But that's not doing our children any favors, because they tend to forget about that stuff. Oh, that happened a long time ago. Can't never happen again, kind of thing. Well, one thing I will give to my Jewish brothers, they don't never let anybody forget what happened to them. And I don't blame them. Matter of fact, I'm glad because I would hate to see something like that happen again. But you know what? We got to do that too. We got to get in the mindset of sharing some of the pain that we went through. Some of the bad things that happened to us back in the day with our children and our grandchildren. So they don't just think everything's okie dokie and nothing bad ever happened. Because as it stands right now, a lot of our people, and this is why I get so mad at people like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, because they know better. A lot of our people are acting like nothing bad ever happened. Nothing bad ever will happen. We don't need the right to self-defense. We don't need to arm ourselves. We don't need to take care of ourselves. The government's going to take care of us. Well, the government already took care of us once. And we didn't like the way they did it. Okay? They took care of us in the way that they knew how. And that was to treat us as property and as animals. I really don't want to go back to that. And I really don't want my children to forget about it. And I don't want my grandchildren to forget about it. So I'm going to make a promise right now. I'm going to talk to my children about it. I'm going to share with them some of the things that I really don't want to talk about. And I hope that some of my other black brothers and sisters will as well. All right. Y'all take care.